Let's talk about Donald Trump now. He's more than hinting at a 2024 presidential run. His ratings are better than Biden's as of today, but the road ahead for him is full of legal hurdles. Ever since Trump left the White House, he's been fighting a series of legal battles, criminal and civil lawsuits that continue to grow. Some stem from his old business dealings before he became the president. Others are defamation cases from the women he allegedly assaulted. And then we have criminal probes over his attempts to overturn the 2020 election. The hearing for one such case was held on Tuesday. It dates back to September 2015, a year before Trump became president. What's the case about? An assault, not by Trump, but his security guards. They apparently attacked a group of demonstrators who had gathered outside Trump's office. They were protesting against his remarks on Mexicans. First, let's tell you what Trump had said then.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
He called Mexicans criminals and rapists. There were bound to be protests. At least 6 people of Mexican origin staged a protest outside the Trump Tower. They were confronted by Trump's security guards who were too eager to make their boss proud. They took down the placards and hit one of the protesters in the head. The protesters say they did this on Trump's instructions. So on Tuesday, nearly 6 years since the assault, Donald Trump was asked to give a deposition, what they call a testimony under oath. It happened through a video link Trump attended from his eponymous skyscraper. What did he have to say? A lot. He called the story ridiculous, the claims of injury baseless. He said the protesters had no one to blame but themselves. He accused them of riling up the crowd and termed their lawsuit as quote-unquote pure harassment of your favorite president. It's vintage Trump, always on the offensive and playing victim. The prosecutors say he answered questions the way you would expect him to answer questions.
The president was exactly as you would expect him to be, and he answered questions the way that you would expect Mr. Trump to answer questions, and conducted himself in a manner that you would expect Mr. Trump to conduct himself.
How long did the testimony last? 4.5 hours. How many charges did Donald Trump deny? All of them. So what happens now? The testimony will be presented to a sworn jury, which will then deliver its verdict in the case. Donald Trump may get away with this case, but he's still fighting many more. There are at least 10 other lawsuits against him. Some of them could severely impact his political fortunes. He's no longer in the White House, remember. He lost the immunity that he had as president. So an actual conviction could be detrimental to his future. Let's look at the cases that he's fighting. There's a defamation case by journalist Elizabeth Jean Carroll. She accused Donald Trump of sexual assault. Trump accused her of lying. She filed a defamation lawsuit. Last we checked, the case had moved to a federal court. Then there's another civil defamation suit. This one's by Summer Zervos, a former contestant on Donald Trump's infamous TV show, The Apprentice. She too accused Trump of sexual misconduct. Trump responded by accusing her of lying to benefit the Hillary Clinton campaign. The case was on hold till January 2020. It has now reached the New York Court of Appeals, which is the highest state court in New York. Next, Trump faces a fraud litigation by his own niece, Mary Trump. She has accused her uncle of defrauding her of millions in an inheritance dispute. Last we checked, the case was pending in a New York state court. Then there's a civil suit filed by the Attorney General of Washington, D.C. This is about the misuse of non-profit funds, money that was meant for Trump's inauguration as president. The Trump family has been accused of using these funds in their family business. In February this year, Donald Trump Jr. was asked to testify. The case is still on. And then there are at least 3 cases against Trump over the U.S. Capitol riots, the ones that took place on the 6th of January. 2 cops have sued him for the injuries that they sustained. 7 more have accused him of orchestrating the riots, and at least 10 lawmakers have accused Trump of conspiring to overturn the election. What is Trump doing? Well, he's suing the investigators. Trust him to do that. He's filed a lawsuit against the House Select Committee saying what? Records from the Trump presidency should be kept a secret. Why? Because Donald Trump should get executive privilege. It's going to be a long, thorny and dramatic battle. We'll keep you posted. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.